leader and former Labor Secretary Robert Reich, who is the author of Super Capitalism. We also have CNBC's ace reporter Rick Santelli. Of course, Lou is still with us. Secretary Reich, first of all, it's good to see you. You heard Lou Dobbs. We've talked about trade policy and immigration policy. They are different, but they are related, Bob Reich. What did you hear from Lou, and what would you like to say to him?
Well, Lou, the biggest question I have for you, and I listened to the interview, and I was left with a giant question mark. You didn't say very much about median wages, the stagnation of median wages. I mean, it's not just unemployment that's the big problem, Lou. You know median wages are even a bigger problem because they transcend, they've been going on for years, this stagnation. What's your answer? Do you agree with Larry Kudlow and the conservatives that the answer is supply-side tax cuts? Or do you agree with me and others like me that we've got to build up education, job training, basic research and development, a first-class infrastructure in this country? Which side are you on? Or why don't you so? Are you on any side?
Robert, you've left me in a very difficult position as I struggle here to intellectually embrace both you and Larry simultaneously.
You don't have to. Lou, I want to assure you, you don't have to embrace both of us. You can make a decision.
Having been freed from your industrial policy, let me give you my straightforward answer. I believe that the issue of unemployment in this country and job creation fundamentally will have to be taken on as a matter of government policy. It will also have to be taken on as a matter of business leadership. As to the idea that wages have been stagnant in this country for 35 years, in point of fact, we have to understand what the causes are. And we have to look at what the contributing factors are. I believe those contributing factors are, in part, increased technological advancements, which has led to productivity. I think it is also, without question, trade policies which have led to frankly, an immigration policy that has permitted the competition between our middle class and the cheapest labor in the world. And until we deal with the issue of outsourcing, we are going to be in significant trouble.
Let me give you that. I think you raising outsourcing and talking about what we ought to do about outsourcing, it's a very, very complicated dilemma. But you know as well as I do that a lot of Americans are are losing their jobs not to outsourcing but to software, to labor-saving machinery, to numerically controlled machine tools. I mean, we've got to upgrade the quality of our workforce. We've got to provide better education. Our schools are falling apart.
You do recall that I said technological advancement and rising productivity.
Let me bring Rick in before we leave. We're going to come back after the break. But Rick, I want to give you a shot at this. I was going to ask you about Geithner this morning, and we'll get to that in the next segment. But Rick, I personally do not agree with the statistics. I think that real median wages have gone up for the last 25 years.
Listen,
I think income mobility has been terrific.
Larry, they have plasma TVs. They have at least 2 cars, maybe 3. They all live in houses that have indoor plumbing. I think anybody on this panel who can't look around and see that the standard of living, the way an average middle-class family has lived, has improved over the last several generations, has got blinders on.
Well, I'll give you indoor plumbing, Rick. I think you're right about that.
Look at this, to quote my friend Dan Henniger of the Wall Street Journal, it was 2 French socialists, Piketty and Sayce, who created the data, which has become the Democratic Party mantra. 24% increase just in the last 10 years on real median income. That number just came out. I know there are lags. And by the way, some of these numbers show the bottom quintiles have risen the most. They've been the people. We still can climb the ladder of opportunity in this country, Lou.
Again, I can't wait to hear the Star Spangled Banner in the background brought up.
This is part of America's greatness.
As long as it isn't
we're not going to be great. We're not going to be great. We're not going to deal with the weaknesses, the vulnerabilities that exist right now and are wrecking this economy, this society, and leaving vulnerable one of the...
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to the same subject. I will continue to argue that low tax rates and free trade creates great American prosperity, and that Rick Santelli gets the Nobel Prize for the middle-class plumbing in that last segment. Coming up, the Kudlow Report will